All right. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Hey, I wanted to just welcome you to the new moon recording in Virgo. I'm posting these in the 13 Moon Mystic website through the end of the year, but also posting them on YouTube for free as well as IGTV and Instagram. And I decided to do this because I feel like, well, astrology is a real thing, and there's a lot going on in the planets right now that actually are directly correlating to what's happening in the world. Now, having said that, I want to make sure you understand that I don't want you to pause your life until you understand the planets. Instead, what I want you to do is drop into your intuition and just look at your life as to what's happening now as a byproduct of karma, astrology, and your own choice. So just keep that in mind. I fully believe in astrological influence, but I also fully believe in choice. And I also fully believe in divine guidance. So I guess having said that, make sure you just take from this what works and leave what doesn't. And then please have a little bit of fun with it because we could all use a little bit of fun right now. So my name's Dana Tamara, welcome. And I'm really excited about this new moon. I actually, on Sunday, when Jupiter went direct, I could actually feel like this pressure valve had been released. And then, of course, it was all smoky and the fires were really bad. And then I dropped into fear again and could feel all of that in my body and could mainly feel it in my gut. And I want to tell you that Virgo, this new moon in Virgo, it rules the gut. So more than anything, drop into your gut and just really start asking these intuitive questions for yourself right now. But notice where the rumbling is, if the rumbling is fear or if it's wisdom. Okay, so we're starting to release the pressure just a little bit with this new moon and with Jupiter going direct, but we still have, 5, 6 planets in retrograde and still a whole September, October, November, December, 3.5 months to go for the end of this year. So all I want to do first is drop us in. And then those of you who are new to this, my invitation to you is to grab something to write on and write with if you want to take notes. And you can always pause me. That's my cats, by the way. I don't know if you can hear them, but they really like the hummingbirds and want to go outside so bad. So go ahead and grab something to write with or on and pause me if you need to. And then what I want to do is start with just a little meditation, right? Just a minute of quiet stillness. This is a lot for me as it is for you. So we just kind of bring the energy into the moment. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe take a few breaths out through the mouth. That is always nice, just to relieve any pressure in the energetic or emotional body as well. And then once you have released that energy, feel free to just find a slow cadence to the breath. Spin your internal drishti behind the eyes and down into the heart. And just allow yourself this moment. Okay, so the world is in a bit of what is seemingly chaos. And chaos is a state of mind. I want to bring you back to your breath so that you can find that sense of order, which is Virgo, that sense of order, and understand that in one breath in and one breath out, you can bring yourself back to a state of peace and really be here and present. So in these moments in time, I like to call in just guardians of the four corners of my own space. I call in all of my angels and my guides. I do that before I get on the recording, but I call them in for you and for all of us so that we can just be present with what is happening now in our minds and our hearts and our lives. I remember in this moment in time that I am just a mere microcosm of the macrocosm that is so small and yet so big. And I allow myself a presence of abundance and infinite existence. Sometimes we think that we are so small or we're not enough, and that's just not true. So just breathe in the depth of the knowing of your immense capability. And yet, just that we're just this teeny speck of dust in the universe. So great to be able to be all of that. And then stay here as long as you want. Again, you can pause me if you need to stay here for a little bit longer. Otherwise, just begin to open the eyes. And I'll begin with the reading for this new moon Virgo. So I want to stay on a little bit of a time thing today because I tend to go on and on and on because I get really excited, but I'm going to do that. Watch my clock here. And I did create a little keynote for you guys, and I'll share it with you in a moment. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this new moon in Virgo, first of all, Virgo is the planet of order, of structure, not like Saturn structure. Saturn is more like restriction. Virgo it wants order, it wants steps, it wants clarity, it wants clutter removed. It just wants to know what's coming next. And I don't know about you, but in our society right now, it seems like we absolutely have no idea what's coming next. There's a lot happening in the world and also in our own country. And so this new moon in Virgo is truly a breath of fresh air. Virgo is an earth sign. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so it's ruled by the lower mind. It's the day-to-day, it's the thinking, it's the processes, and yay, Mercury is direct right now, but we do have other planets in retrograde. Let's see, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and Mars. Okay, so I think I got them all. Mars retrograde, if you haven't watched the Mars retrograde, Mars 2020 recording, please go back and do that. But I will say that Mars in retrograde only happens every 18 months. And Mars retrograde creates a sense of angstiness, intensity, wanting to move forward, not being able to move forward, anger, things come to the surface. But here's what I want to say, and this is going to be in direct alignment with the new moon Virgo. The only reason things like this happen is so that we can pay attention. So shit bubbles up to the top so that we can go, oh, wait, that's really not what I want to be doing, feeling, thinking, experiencing in my life. That must be an old thought. I'm going to move through that. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to transmute it, alchemize it. Now it's easier, or it's harder than this. That's called the work. That's why we're human. So just be aware that if things are coming up for you right now, it's purposeful and it's asking you to clear the clutter so that you can be prepared for this new earth that we're building. Okay. I'm actually going to show you the screen here, and I'm going to make it big. Okay. So I'm going to put my glasses on too so I can not squint because it just creates wrinkles. New moon in Virgo, September 17th, 2020, 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can calculate that in your own time zone. But remember that the new moon is when the sun and the moon are conjunct each other. So they're right on top of each other. You can't really see the moon if you look into the sky. What affects the moon is what sign it's in, which is Virgo, its ruling planet, which is Mercury, and then other aspects. I'm going to go through the other aspects with you here in this recording. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Virgo. So I'm just going to, actually, I'll just stay on this one because you can see all the different aspects. So Virgo is, like I said, Virgo is the planet of order. It's so funny because I always wondered why one of my top 3 values is, freedom, connection, and order. And, love is above all of that, but freedom, connection, order. And I could never understand why order was so important to me. And then I remembered I have 6 planets or 5 planets in Virgo. So there's a reason why order is important to me. Plus, the goddess likes order. The goddess likes cleanliness, clear mind, clear life. If your life is kind of cluttered and chaotic, which the planet is that way right now, you may be experiencing a sense of disorder. But what I want you to remember is that you don't need to have everything in order to make a difference. You don't need to have every single thing in order just to create something, right? But slash and in this moment in time, it's really, really important, especially with this new moon Virgo, to clear out the clutter, to look at what's coming up and creating the chaos, to understand what is at the root of that angsty feeling in your gut. You know, we have all these planets in retrograde: Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus. I knew I had forgotten one, and Mars. Mars isn't listed here. So we have 6 of them. Now, some astrologists will say 5 because they don't include Chiron, but Chiron is a planet and it is in retrograde. So in retrograde, we have transformation, going deep. We have restriction, structure, Saturn. We have Neptune, which is, you know, the depths, the division between understanding illusion and truth. We have Chiron, which is healing, and we have Uranus, which is unexpected miracles or breakdowns, breakups, break apart. So we have all those planets, and Mars, which I talked about, in retrograde at the time of the new moon. So why not clean out the clutter of your mind, of your heart, of your house? You know, just now is the time to really get clear. And when I say new moon Virgo, I don't mean on the new moon Virgo. I mean from lunation to lunation, from new moon Virgo in September to the new moon in October. So we have a month. So let's do this. And remember too that Virgo is about the gut, so it rules the gut. And in our gut, you know, we metabolize food, we digest food, but we also metabolize and digest our thoughts. So I want you to pay attention to what you're putting, consuming through all ways that you consume, and how that's all digesting and assimilating in your body and showing up in your life. It's really important, you guys. I took a bunch of notes like always, so I'm just looking at my notes. So I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So these are all of the aspects that we have, and all these aspects will affect the new moon. So it's not like we can say, okay, new moon Virgo, yay, let's create order. Okay, check, you know, all these things are happening. So I'm going to go through all of these with you. And the first one I want to go through with you is the new moon opposite Neptune. Now, how do I know that? You say, well, I look at this, I find the moon, I look at the moon, and oh, look at that big red line going from the moon to Neptune. So I'll show you where it is. I just have to make it smaller. So here's the moon and big red line, whoop, Neptune, right in Pisces. So what's interesting is Virgo makes likes order, right? And it can figure out a problem with order. So Virgo believes that, like, okay, once I have everything in order, everything's going to be great. And I get that. 5 planets in Virgo. I totally get that. Okay, once I get these things done, then I can like move on. Where Pisces, on the other hand, is like, you know, if I just like chill out and connect to the divine and kind of, you know, maybe watch a Netflix series, and then I'm one with higher source, and then things will fall into place. So I find this interesting that Neptune is right in its home sign of Pisces and directly across from the moon. So what that does, I'm just going to make it bigger. So what that does is it basically gives us a moment in time to question, like, which one is truer for us, who we are, how we've been functioning all this time, you know, and how we want to, I don't want to say change, but how we want to transform our lives into something that is more in alignment with maybe where we want to go. And what I've been telling people in astrology readings this past month is, you know, dropping deep to what feels good. And then ask yourself, you know, what have I outgrown? Not what have I done wrong? What didn't I do? Where am I not enough? But what have I outgrown? What have I evolved into? And what, and I hope you're taking notes, and what has this moment in time, and this unprecedented moment in time, stirred up for me, that has made me pause and go, WTF? And that doesn't mean what the, it means, where's the fun? Thank you, Scotty, for that one. Where's the fun? Whenever I say WTF from now on, I'm going to say, where's the fun? Because I feel like we are being offered an opportunity to look at our past and go, okay, yep, wow, whew, okay, present moment, what do I want to do now? And whether you do that from a very Virgo way of getting things in order or a very Pisces way, either way is great for you, but just be mindful that right now with this new moon and all those planets in retrograde, the way to clarity is cleaning out the clutter, like truly cleaning out the clutter, just like taking care of the stuff that you've been avoiding, looking at the things that the mess in the corner, you know, and maybe it doesn't have to be in complete, but do look and do pause and do get rid of the things you don't need. Okay. The new moon in Virgo is really an opportunity to reinvent yourself. And those of us, and I say us very deliberately, those of us too who have Chiron in retrograde, and if you don't know if you have Chiron in retrograde, I can tell you, but you can also figure it out yourself. But if you have Chiron in not Chiron retrograde, Chiron Aries, so if you're in your Chiron return, not retrograde, if you're in your Chiron return, you've already started that reinvention process. You've already been at a place of like, okay, I've gotten this far in life. Now what do I want to do? And that's an opportunity. This new moon is an opportunity for all of us to collectively look at how can we evolve to a higher vibratory frequency and how we function on the planet, which means you've got to get rid of some of the crap that's holding you down. You've got to get rid of the angst, the resentment, the disappointment, the frustration, the you know, anything that's in those lower vibes. And you can't just get rid of it by going, okay, I'm done. Dive into it, you know, massage a little bit, lean into it, and then be done. Time to move from this moment in time forward. Okay. I'm just looking at my little notes here. Yeah. Okay. So Neptune is in retrograde, and Neptune is, if Mercury is the lower mind, the day to day, Neptune is like that ethereal mind. Now, so is Uranus. Okay. Uranus is like the unconscious mind, but Neptune is that spiral between, is this an illusion or is this truth? So Neptune opposite the new moon has the opportunity to trick you a little bit. And the only way to get past that trickster is to clear the clutter. Okay, so clear the clutter. I have a list of the clutter that I'm going to clear over the next month. And some of it's physical, because I've been clearing, I don't know about you guys, but I've been clearing a lot of emotional debris since March 13th, 2020. You know, it's a good for this time too, is to take Epsom salt baths. Epsom salt baths are just like, go get a whole bunch of Epsom salt and just sit in the bath. Or if you live near the ocean, get in the ocean. Okay. So I'm just going to take a sip. Yummy. Cacao, mushrooms, a little bit of collagen, a little bit MCT. So good. And of course, 2 shots of coffee. Okay, the sun also is making, actually the sun and the moon, the new moon is also making a trine to some planets. I'm going to show you this too, so you can see. So here's the moon and the sun, and see this blue line? It's making a trine to this whole cluster. Now this whole cluster has been here since January. Pluto, Saturn, Saturn went into Aquarius and now it's back. It's like, it's just been the whole tease of the year. It's been the angstiness of the year, the instigator, the antagonist of the year. But it's creating new structures. And this new moon is creating actually a beautiful, beautiful trine to it. And I'll explain to you why here. I'm just going to make it bigger. And with the sun, first I'll go through one at a time. Okay, first of all, if you are subscribed to this, you can listen to the Saturn and the Pluto conjunct. But when Saturn, Pluto, or any planets conjunct each other, they enhance their essence. And Saturn is structure, restriction, right? And Pluto is transformation, purging. And so we've all been experiencing that this whole year. Stay in your house, look at your stuff, and figure it out. And Jupiter was kind of in that hodgepodge too, but now Jupiter is going direct. So that's fantastic. But when the sun and the moon trine Pluto, um, you know, Pluto is about purging. Pluto wants you to get to the depths of your issue and not skirt around and dance around the edges. Pluto's like, no, no, you're not really hearing what I'm saying. You're just kind of skimming the surface. And you don't want to do that this time. You want to be in a place of truly getting to the depths of it. Get to the root and look at the root for a while, pull the root, and really ask yourself, what part of this is still applicable and what isn't. This is the time to let go. This is the time to look at the things where you've been like this, and I know you have something where you've been grasping, and just let it go. Like just, oh, you know, um, honestly, that feeling of gripping not only grips the fingers, but it grips the heart, it grips the gut, it grips the mind. All of this is gripping, and it doesn't afford us the opportunity to connect with God, to source, to divine. So you want to look at what you're holding on to, um, that's keeping you actually from experiencing divine bliss. Um, Pluto also uncovers the unseen. Hey, no, you can't go outside because there's big coyotes. Come on up here. Come on. Sorry, guys, but she really wants to go outside, and she's learned how to. She sticks her claws in the screen. She pulls the screen open, but I got a new screen yesterday, so she's not very happy. Um, so I talk about gripping, right? No, you can't go outside. That's funny. I'll have to investigate that later. When we let go of these old things that we've been gripping onto, it opens up this portal of a deeper understanding of how connected we really are. So we don't look at ourselves as this little human walking around on the planet. We look at ourselves as a bigger picture of the universe, and how, even though I said this in the beginning, even though how we're so small, we're this teeny tiny speck of dust flying through the universe, but our thoughts, even something as small and quick as a thought, affects everything. And so I want you to get to that place. I want you to get to that place of understanding who you are, where your thoughts come from, and just start to move through the ones and let go of the ones that don't serve you anymore. And listen, when you do that, you're offered opportunities to create from a place that is truly already in content bliss. And you'll get these downloads of how to respond in harmony, in peace, in connection, as opposed to like WTF and not where's the fun, the other one. So we don't want to move from that place anymore. This moving into this new paradigm, we're going from a Capricornian way of living, very earth, to Aquarius, which is air, which is just like light. So get light. Okay, get very, very light. This new moon is also making a trine to Saturn. So as you know, Saturn has been, like I said earlier, has been kind of at the crux of a lot of our year for the globe, for all of humanity. We've been under restriction. We've been under, stay-at-home orders. Oh, now you can go out. Oh, now you can go in. Oh, no, no, just kidding, just kidding. What? Oh, and everybody has a different rule, right? So it's been a little challenging, and it can create chaos. But when you do take that moment in time to go in and just go, okay, what is it that I need? I know this restaurant is telling me this, and this yoga studio is telling me that, and this person is doing that on Instagram, and that all that is external noise. Use the trine of this new moon in Virgo order, right? Trining Saturn to look at those restrictions as a blessing for a moment and go, okay, what motivates me? What where am I on this spectrum? What is it that I want to dedicate myself to? You know, what have I transmuted? What disappointment, anger, angst, frustration have I transmuted to peace and harmony? And now that I'm free from that stranglehold, what is it that I want to create now? What is my sense of duty? How do I want to serve? How can I use this restriction, these restrictions to my benefit? And maybe the benefit of others, because we're moving into co-creation and collaboration with others, believe it or not. Okay, I already talked about Jupiter stationing direct. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mercury squaring. Mercury is squaring Jupiter, and it's really close to squaring Pluto and Saturn. So this gets a little icky in the sense that, remember that first of all, when planets square each other, they're making a 90-degree tense angle, but Mercury is the lower mind, so it's the day-to-day. So you could have the tendency to overthink things and, like, okay, well, let me make 10 lists of all the things that I want to, declutter. And then what's happened is your 10 lists are in chaos. So, be mindful that you're not overthinking, but at the same time, do be meticulous. Like, be really clear about your motivations behind why you're doing something. And this goes back to, and I'm going to actually make this big for a moment. This goes back to asking yourself what you really want. So with every new moon is an opportunity to pause. I've been saying this for years. Pause. What do I want? What do I want to focus on this next lunar cycle? Okay, I've got 30 days, 20 some odd days, 30 days to focus in, hone in. Just don't overthink it. But what you choose to focus on, get very meticulous about creating structure around that. And be meticulous about the boundaries that you set so that you're not in other people's stuff. Because at least here in America, in the next month and a half, we're going to be experiencing an election. And there's going to be enough chaos in the world and in our own backyard that I want you to spend this new moon being extremely grounded. Get so grounded that nothing can blow you over. So that means amp up your practice, whether that's breath work, yoga, swimming, running, exercise. Amp up your physical practice, amp up your mental practice, amp up, be super conscious about what you're consuming in all levels of being. Forgive, let go if you haven't already. That's the declutter, like declutter all of that stuff. And then you're going to be more readily available to withstand November or late October. Okay. And then just a couple of things. Mars square Saturn, so that's always good. And I'm being facetious. Mars in retrograde squares Pluto, and it squares Saturn because Pluto and Saturn are together. So the energy feels restricted. So I'm asking you, oh, let go, let go. And there's this like, but I can't freaking let go. I'm mad, or it's not fair, or I haven't said my piece, or whatever. But I'm telling you, when you do this, it's going to keep you from connecting to the divine. And your creative energy might be really ready to go, but focus on what's in front of you first before you like turn the corner and start to do something completely different. Like, you have the opportunity to reinvent yourself, yes. Just be mindful of what you launch and why you launch. Just make sure that it's not for this, but for this. Let it come through you as a divine portal of energy and inspiration. Mars square Pluto. So you could be a little impatient. Like, God, I want to get this done. I want to get this done. I want to get this done. I have no patience. Try to find patience. Remember, ground, root through your feet, root through the crown, open up the heart. Okay. And then Venus, I'm just looking at the time, Venus square Uranus and trine Chiron. So Venus is love. Venus is abundance. Venus is beauty. Venus wants you to look at the beauty in your life. I shared this, I think, last month. You know, I started writing a gratitude journal, and in my journal, I only write on the right-hand side. When I journal, I just write on the right-hand side. So I went back to the very beginning of my journal, and on the left side, I just started writing what I was grateful for. And I bought a bunch of markers, all different colors, because I love color. And I would just write in different color on each page. So it made it fun. And then it really pulled any kind of negativity out. So, you know, find gratitude for something. And I know it can be challenging because there's a lot of loss. I'm not negating, I'm not ignoring the loss and the devastation and the inequalities and the injustices. I'm not bypassing that at all. I get it. But if I go too far deep into that, I get paralyzed, and then I can't do anything. I'm so overwhelmed with like the chaos. I'm like, oh my God, everything is wrong. Every system in this world is effing broken. What the hell am I gonna do? You know, that's what happens to me. And then I'm not of service. So I get to a place of, okay, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, so raise the vibration, ground in, then I can emerge as like okay, like I can see where I can put my energy, and I don't have to be overwhelmed by the whole weight of the world. I don't know if this resonates with you, but it's been very powerful and helpful for me, because I've watched myself since March a couple of times go so far deep, and not in a depression, but a depressed state where I'm like, oh, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know, so much, you know? So watch yourself if that's happening to you. And if it's happening to you, use some of these tools, but also know it could have something to do with your chart. And when I look at my chart, I get so much, I go, oh, that's why. Okay, I get that. And now I can, you know, use this other tool to kind of negate the fact that my chart is creating a sense of depressed feeling. I need to do something different to bring myself up, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but just know that during this time, I want you to focus on gratitude. I want you to focus on cleansing. I want you to focus on what is working and what isn't. And then from that place of higher vibe and grounding, you can then pinpoint, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how I'm supposed to be serving my humanity. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I get it now. So just remember, above all else, there's 6 planets in retrograde. So don't rush, okay? Don't feel like you have to do it all right now, but do feel a sense of urgency and a sense of clarity. Get clear, get real, get grounded. Do the things that ground you. I'll share this with you guys too. I may have shared it in the last one, but it's fine. I wrote a list of the things that I do in the morning, like different rituals I like to do during the day, and then rituals I do at night. And I just did it on one piece of paper throughout the house so I could see them. And then in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do, out of these, 10 things I can do, I'm going to pick 3. And I just get grounded. Okay, I'm going to listen to Adi Shanti all day today while I'm working on my computer, while I'm driving in my car. Listen to high vibe music at night. Like, pick the things that get you grounded and do them often. Forgive, cleanse your heart. cleanse your mind, cleanse your soul. Just be in a space of clearing the clutter so that you can get really clear, because I want you to come out on the other end of this new moon, in the next new moon in this lunation cycle, fearless, strong, capable, like a spiritual warrior, ready to go, ready to nourish the planet, ready to generate love, ready to connect, ready to give your gift. It's a important time, and we've been distracted for a long time, ever since social media came out, maybe even before then, but media period. And I love you people who work for media. I do. I just feel like there's ways that we can kind of refine that. So with this new moon, I just wish you nothing but clarity and focus. Clear the clutter. Get right within yourself, and let me know if you want a reading. I'm going to share my screen one more time with you guys, just for fun. I'll share my list of things to do. These are the malas that I make. This is a Virgo. I share this with you, not, of course, I'd love it if you purchase my malas. I think that would be amazing. But I haven't ordered any in a while. But I would say take a little look-see here of the mantra. And these are all on my website too, under Cosmic Malas. And also look at the oils that you can use. Now I make those oils, the oil blends, and which you can do it yourself. And then I also have the stones up here for meditation. So just use this as you would. I use my malas for meditation all the time, and these are the stones and the oils that are connected to Virgo itself. And then weekly classes. Big announcement, yay, I am going to be in person on Sundays at Four Moon Spa here in Encinitas. Only space for about 4 to 6 people right now, so don't get crazy. I will be recording though too from there. And then this is just wrong a little bit here. Wednesday, Friday, that's not right anymore. I'm actually teaching Sunday mornings at 9, Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. I do client readings and sessions now during the day. All my workshops and trainings are online. We just closed registration for the 200-hour in September, but we'll be doing online February 2021. Advanced training is online, everything online right now, everything. And then just really quick, I'm going to put a little plug for, I don't know if you all know James Von Prague, but he has become a friend of mine, and we are doing an equinox event that's coming up next week. So I will be offering up an equinox event with him online, and you can go to my Instagram and get info about it, or to his website. But definitely it would be a wonderful, wonderful moment in time for you to really get real. We're turning a corner. We're turning a corner in all of humanity. And I want you to be clear and grounded and in your power. I really do. And when I use the word power, it's not from a place of like to take over. It's a place of connection and love. So thank you so much. Such a beautiful, beautiful time to be alive. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. Please reach out if you need anything at all. Get grounded in your breath, okay? And honestly, if you need support, please feel free to reach out. Find your resources, okay? All right, sending so much love. Namaste.